everyone, welcome back to another awesome Anomic video. Now today I'm going to be showing you how to build some more security doors, and these are the best designs I've ever come up with, and this is in response to you guys loving my previous Anomic videos so much. So a few things you need to keep in mind before building these doors is that the rules of Anomic say that you can't build a base in order to trap players, as in like build a kill base or to scam people. So you can't. So these doors do abide by those rules. They don't trap people, and they're used purely for staff to go in and out, such as the owners, in and out of the base safely. And they're also to prevent robberies, and some of them can even slow down battering rams when they're trying to get into your base. Another thing to keep in mind is that these bases are very small, and they probably don't even need a security door because you can lock the back door, and then you just don't use this base in general. It's far too small for what you're going to be building. Same with this base here, also too small. What I recommend is using something like this one, or a garage, or the gas station's massive. You've got the industrial buildings in, is there a map? Nope, there isn't. Or maybe I don't know about it, but there's another place that way, I believe. If you follow that road and go up that way, there's another base that's like in a factory building. That's probably the best one for this, but not many people go there, so you got to keep that in mind. You want to try and build if you're building a shop, you want to try and build it in a busy area. If it's like a criminal base, you want to build it in a remote area where not many people go. So ROA is probably the best spot for that. So to kick this off, I'm going to put a lick of paint on. So to do that, you want to press B to open the building menu, and then press M. I like the pastel colors because they don't hurt your eyes too much to look at. So you got the pastel blue. It looks a bit like cyan. I might change that to a little bit lighter of a blue. What's this one? Light pastel blue. There we go. That's pretty good. And then you want to grab the industrial lamps. Where are there we go. So they give off quite a fair amount of light. So you can put one here and one here, and you want to try and maximize your usage of these lights, because this base is literally a massive rectangle and doesn't have like a back room or anything. When you open the door, it's just a back door straight away. Because you don't have a back room, this is probably one of the best bases to use security doors. Yeah, so we've used the lights pretty well. Another way you can do it is you can use them to cover up shadows. So I'll give you an example. So we put a light here, and we put another one here. You'll see that their lights will sort of reach, they're just loading in, there we go. They sort of reach the middle and then sort of give up a bit. So you see that shadow in the middle of the screen. You can get rid of that by putting one here, and as long as they're nice and high, they won't really get in the way and distract customers. However, when you're in the low graphics mode in settings, it does make your game a lot faster, but enabling it means that your character will become a lot more shiny and the lights will emit a little bit less light, or the light will be a bit strange for some people. So the first door we're going to go with, I refer to as the X door. So what you're going to need for this door is you're going to need a space between two walls, and this is going to be where you're going to pass through. So what I recommend is you use a regular wall, because they reach to the roof normally, and that's a good gap. That's a nice gap to have. A nice one person with a little bit of wriggle room on each side for you to pass through. Now what I like to do, instead of using the counters because it uses too many parts and you only have a build limit of 60, putting the walls sideways is a really good space saver. Then you can use windows and chuck them on top. And remember, if you miss where you want it to rotate to, hold down shift and press rotate again, and it can rotate the other way. I only was today years old when I found that out, actually, so you can put them down. But anyway, that's not part of the door. So to do the door, it's called the X door because you're going to be placing these doors in an X shape. And this means that once a robber tries to get into your base with a lockpick, they're going to have to open both doors. And once they open one, when they're going for the second one, you can close the first one, and then they have to go through the first one again. And you can block doors from outside the wall, which makes this so good. So I'll show you why it's so good in a second. So you want to tap this rotate button 9 times from being flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a nice angle, and that should cover the whole way. Maybe it's a little bit too wide of a gap, but it's still workable. And then you want to bring it back by holding down shift and pressing it 9 times. and then you want to hold down shift again and then press rotate 9 times, but in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that should be a nice opposite angle to your first one. And to help this out, you may want to open your first door, because then it allows you to place your doors. Just need to rotate this again, so I'm going to make it go this way, around, 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 around. There we go, now it's straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now that's in a nice X. So then we can put that across this way. So that's now your X door complete. This is probably one of my favorite doors, and if you want to add some security, for example a gun detector, this means that when someone's trying to rob you, in most cases they're going to have a gun on them ready to shoot you. There's a lot of people that like to be mean, will have like a shotgun, so as soon as they get over to the other side they can just go bang and kill you. So what you want to do is have a gun detector, and that means that when their gun is in the hotbar, not just in their inventory, then it'll go beep, 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 and then you know, okay, I definitely need to start locking these doors. So you can access these doors from inside your base. Something you need to keep in mind as well is that objects like open doors, the actual flat bit of the door while it's open, often do this walking glitch, which will keep pushing you back. And that's something that we're going to use for a future door. And although it seems a little bit like glitching, I personally wouldn't call it a cheat, because the game is supposed to allow you to pass through it, but it keeps pushing you back, because an open door is supposed to mean that you can still go through it. But when it's closed, it becomes like a solid. Hang on, I'll just try and, should be, there we go. It's a solid, it shouldn't let you pass through. So this is what it looks like. So when you're trying to pick lock it, let's see if I can buy a pick lock from the team shop. I don't think we can do that on this team. No, we can't. So this isn't necessarily door ram safe. So if you have a wanted person or a printer in your base, the chances are it's going to get blown down. It's mainly just for people robbing you. So when both doors are locked, and it's easier to see if they both are, because when one's locked, the other one will say unlocked, and the buttons for opening them are often quite close. And when you move your camera, you can see they're glitching a little bit, which means they're really close together in the middle of the doors. So when you try and unlock one door, say we have someone trying to pick lock your door. Say we have someone trying to pick lock your door, and they manage to get through the first door. Now they've got a second door to get through, but while they're going for the second door, from the inside, you can close the first door again, and so while they're now working on this door, they've now got the same door that they just got through to get through. Chances are, because this door closed on them while they're trying to pick lock it, it gets in the way of their pick lock, which means that it'll cancel their pick locking and they'll have to restart. That's what makes this door so good. So that's the X door done. And now we're going to move on to the sandwich door. This is the one that you've probably seen in a previous video, and this is a really good one for battering ram security. Not necessarily pick lock security, because they still can get through with pick locking. And this doesn't stop. Remember, this is not supposed to be able to prevent people from being able to get to you when you're wanted. So you can't trap them, you can't prevent them from getting in. There still has to be a way. What the sandwich door does is it stops the door from falling open once it's been battering rammed, which lets them get in early, so they have to wait for the door to despawn. So what you want to do is get your regular door, and a good block for this is the bars. It doesn't have to be in light pastel blue, I just have that as the colour that I've got on at the moment. And you want to make it so that the bars are nice and close up against it, like that. And then you want to go on the other side and do the same, with a little bit of a gap in between. So that, and I'll just put another bar down here to show you how you use it. You may have to wriggle in between, but the idea is that now that you've got, hang on, there we go, now we've wiggled through, so they still can get through. It is possible, and it shows that you're not using it to trap people. So now that you see that it's sandwiched between the two bars, when that gets battering rammed, and I can't demonstrate it because I don't actually have a printer in here, but when it gets battering rammed, these two sandwiches will catch the door and prevent it from falling over on either side. So they have to wait for the door to despawn, which happens a decent while after they've battered it down, which gives you a bit of time to prepare. So you could like take out a gun to defend yourself, that sort of thing. But you have to make sure that they can still get to you, otherwise it's cheating. Now, the next door we've got is just the detector door. So this is what you might use on the gas station, because the gas station has a back door and then a little room, which is like a square, and then another door. And I like to put these on the first door so that it can tell me whether someone's trying to rob me, because I don't normally put big security doors like the X door on the base. So this door needs walls and a gun detector. So the gun detector is 800. You guys might not be able to afford it depending on how long you've been playing for, because I know a lot of new people can't even afford a handgun. But yeah, so you'll need a wall here. So once you've got the wall down, or if you're just going to use one of the walls that are already here, you want to rotate your gun detector until it's nice and flush with the nice and parallel. It's a weird lighting problem going on when it's night time. Anyway, so you want to make sure that the side is covered like that. So now you can't see the side of the detector there, and you can't see it on this side either. So they won't suspect anything as of just yet when they're coming into your base, and they've still got a good amount of room to pass through. And it's very obvious that it's not a trap. I like to use these on my front doors as well, so that when people pass through, they don't often think I should check for a gun detector. But yeah, then the next wall you want to use is a low wall, because this will cover the gap nicely. Sometimes I'll use a middle wall, because then it goes into this wall as well, and there's no chance of there being a gap at all. And you just want to make sure that the green box that you're making with the wall building meets up nicely with the crosses, like goes over the white of the detector. You want to make it as high as you can as well, so then passing through is really easy. So then you do that. So now it just looks like a gate, really. And you might want to make them the same color as the detector as well, because that can happen. And to fix that, you can just add another middle wall, but you should be able to cover the whole door with a wall normally. But yeah, you can just add another one like that. So I'll equip my items, because I'm on the SWAT team, and it's a normal gun detector, so it should be able to detect that it's in a hotbar. So we go through, there we go. So now your shop, basically half your shop is glowing red with an alarm, and you hear a nice ear-piercing alarm telling you there's a guy with a gun inside your shop. This only uses 5 pieces, including the gun detector, so it shouldn't be too tolling on your block limit, your building limit. So your next door, this is the sign door, and I only recently came up with this idea because when I was building, I wanted to put the signs down. I was in, hang on, I'll scroll in. I was in one of the upper buildings here. So you've got that like weird back room, and then you've got the front, and that weird slice of wall that you just have just sitting across here, which is really annoying. So you've got the wall that's here, and the back room that's here, the front door's here. So I'm like, and then there's just a little bit of space about here, but no door here. So I was thinking, how can I put my signs up? The wide signs, because they're really wide. Let's get an example. Text sign small, text sign wide. So that's quite big. And at that point I was thinking, well, I can't really securely fit an owner door. And I thought as well, when you put a sign over a door like that, it hides it pretty well. And I'm thinking, why don't I just pass through that? And then I looked at the walking glitch and it didn't let me go through. But then I tried walking slowly, and then it let me go through. So I'm thinking, this is a new door. I can use this for a door. So let's close this. And we're going to go build, get rid of that. So what you need, this is probably uses the most blocks out of the security doors I'm going to show you today. But it allows you to still use a sign. So maybe this is a good decision to make in the game. But there's a few tricky steps you need to follow precisely. So you need to put the walls down normally like that, and then you need to do one sideways with enough room to be able to jump on top like that. Sometimes you might even need to make it so then you can climb, like it's just short enough so you can climb. So an example might be this, or maybe it needs to be a little tiny bit shorter. There's a point where you can just climb up the wall. But anyway, so you get an owner door, and this is where you can choose. You can make a choice here. You can have it vertical or horizontal. I personally did it horizontal because I thought it made it easier to hide the door. So you can do it like that, and you can get another wall and use it here, and this will allow you to place the wide sign across it like this. I know it's upside down, but just for demonstration purposes. So you can do one here, and now you can do one here. So now it looks like just 2 regular signs, and a lot of people place their signs like this for their customers. So you might, depending on your base, you might not have space for a door to be put, like for example here, on this side. And the great thing is, you should be able to access your door through the sign, especially if you've done it horizontally, because then it gives you a little bit of extra room to sort of stand. And it's good to use this door while customers aren't watching. And that's not because you're cheating, it's because you don't want them to follow you in. Because they'll realize, hang on a second, he's just gone missing, what's going on? And you might be thinking as well, if you're going to do it when customers aren't around, why do you have the door there? Well, the door is just in case, because I think at some point, especially if you're out getting supplies, like getting a 5-pack of something from the airport, having the door there just means that you can still block people. And when you place the door, I'll show you another way you can place it. If you rotate the door, I'll see if I can get it to go sideways. Okay, so having the door part on the outside means that you can, it's really hard to get to it. Oh, it's really hard to show you as well. So like that, for example, and you've got the sign right on the other side. If you have the sign, say the wall is a sign, then they can't sit on the edge like this, like I did on the other side. So it's only open and closable from one side. So for example, it's great for letting staff in, and then you can still have your back door to get out, sorry. So that is the sign door done. The next door we're going to try is the wiggle door. I use these a lot when I'm building bases for my giveaway live streams. Like by giveaway live streams, I mean like I give away free guns. So for example, just the other weekend, like maybe a weekend ago, I gave away a whole bunch of tactical SMGs. Not the team specific ones, obviously, because you can actually give them away. But I bought a whole stack of them and was just giving them away. A few times before that I gave away Humvees, and this Saturday it looks like, based on the vote that I did on my community posts on my channel, we're going to be doing Anomic again. So I'll be hiding a base somewhere in the map on a public server, and you guys can come pick up some stuff for free. So this door encourages you to scroll in to be in first person mode, and you need to wiggle sideways to get through it, like strafe sideways. So what you want to do for this is I recommend this for your back or front door, so you don't actually have to use a door to make it. You can use it for customers to come in or out, and the idea is that it just slows them down. It won't necessarily stop them, but you can use it in conjunction with a door to make it like an obstacle. Like you can combine this with the X door and just make the gap that people have to walk through only wiggle throughable, if that makes sense. So then it makes it so extremely hard for a picklocker to get through, but then a battering ram still can. Because the point is, you're not cheating, okay? So what you want for this is you can use either a window or a wall. I recommend walls so they can't see through at what you're doing. But you want to make it angled like that. Then you want to get another one and put it nicely like this, and you want to check your gap that you're doing. So you can see you can't just walk straight through this. When you go sideways, you can wiggle, and then if you rotate your body, not too much because then you'll start to do this weird glitch, and it does that. Then it becomes an open door. Maybe the front door wasn't the best idea, but okay, I'll close this and I'll show you a different. There we go. So you have to wiggle through. That's a good demonstration. So we get the wall back. And say you've got it in this position with that sort of a gap, and when you go through, see if I can wiggle, sometimes you need a wedge, like lever yourself in, there we go. Now when we open the door, it goes through, and then you should be able to wiggle your way out. That is a really good entrance, and then if you use glass, it means that as a shopkeeper you can see exactly what your customer's intentions are. Say you see a gang outside, and they've all got guns on hand, and they're just rolled up in some expensive Humvee and they're about to shoot you. When they go through the glass, if these walls are made out of glass, and you can see that they're as a gang, and while you're behind your counter, maybe even with an X door because it didn't cost you any doors to build that, you can prepare yourself to shoot back or escape. If you have a back door, that is, or hide. If you have a back room, like those bases, not that base, not the garage, but yeah, the garages that are on the side. Oh, the dealership. I think that's called a dealership. Yeah, this one with the glass at the front is a dealership. The ones on the sides, like this one, that's a garage. These are garages. Okay, so that's the wiggle door done. And you might also, if you want to, use the walls to fill in space that you've left for people like this. So you can use a wall to fill that in. Maybe you want to fill this gap in too, just to make it look nice. Sort of up to you how many blocks this costs. Minimum I would say is 3, just to extend the length that they have to go to get through. And maybe you want to add a sign at the front door, say a text sign, small, just plonk it here. Oops, maybe you have to do it here. Yeah, and then just say something like wiggle through sideways on entry. now they know you have to wiggle. And customers can get through and they can come back out wiggling through. Battering rams can still come through. Criminals can still come through. But the point is that you've slowed them down and it's taken a lot longer than them just doing this, sprinting all their way in. Now that would, because they can take you by surprise. Even if they hide behind here for a bit preparing the gang, they still have to wiggle through. All of them are going to have to do this. And even if they're sprinting, while they're sandwiched, it's going to be pretty annoying for them to get through. So that is that door done and explained. And now this next door is quite tricky. This is a door I designed that requires no owner door to make, but it still allows you to have the best experience. This is one that I made very early on in my experience in Anomic. I call it the one-way door. You guys have probably never seen this in a video. I might have done it in my best shop design video, but yeah, this is a very, very sneaky door. So you'll need walls. You need to have 2 vertical walls right near where you're wanting to go through. It doesn't necessarily have to have your exit door here, but I just recommend it. And just for the purpose of, just because it's a one-way door, you don't even need to have it locked and closed. Sometimes it's better to just show the criminals that there's no point trying to get through. I don't know, maybe just having it open, showing them that it's a one-way door, they'll give up or something. So this door relies on the height that someone can jump in the game. So you want a wall middle and a wall low, and that should be the maximum height they can jump. It should be able to stop them. Yeah, there we go. So they can jump all they want, and they can't get over. But once you want on the side, and remember, this is very important. This is the block you're going to place on the side that you want to be able to go over. So say you want to get out of that door, you want your block here. So you can jump up, and then because the roof is just high enough, now you can jump spam and drop down, and now you're safe. But all criminals who go through the back can't jump up. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that when you're stacking the wall low on the wall middle, that there's no edge when you're placing it, no edge for them to jump up on, because even the tiniest edge can mean that they can jump up onto the top and get over. So you want to make sure that there's no edge, and maybe even put a lip so then the top wall is slightly over the bottom wall, and that means that your door is nice and secure. The good thing is, well, there's quite a few good things about using this door. Another good thing is that you can put this anywhere in your base. For example, a staff entrance or exit, a customer entrance or exit. So say you have one of them here that lets you go this way, and another lets you go this way to sort of help customers. And then another thing, what you can do is, if you've put all your text signs up already, use a price tag, wherever that is, here, and just say something like, please jump on block, then jump spam over to exit. Just sort of got to tell people what they've got to do to get out. That's all. So they read this and go, oh, I have to jump on this block and then jump spam to get out. Now I'm out. Easy. I just held down spacebar just then and now I'm out. So that can be a safety feature, that can be for customer movement, all that sort of thing. So that was all the security doors that I have for you guys at the moment. This is all, I made all of these doors. They're all my design, but it's all because I just was experimenting. You guys should try that too. Just come up with your own designs. Just fiddle with the doors, how they work, have a go, put walls down, have a look at the game physics, how you're allowed to run. Don't abuse glitches, but if it's a glitch that means that you're not trapping anyone, or you're not going to make a kill base out of it, then go for it. So this is all my security door designs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now there's a link down in the description for my Discord server, and if you guys want to be in a video in the future, or you guys want to talk with me or other people that play Anomic or Roblox, and you guys can go to that server and you can talk with them. There's voice chats you can join and whatnot, and that's a really fun place for you guys to go. Also check out the merch link in the description, because I get a commission on anything that you spend using my link, which helps support my channel and then lets me do more giveaways in the future of Robux. And yeah, please consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a future video or in the stream this week, which is in 2 days, 2:30 PM UTC plus 11 time on Saturday. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.